Welcome to the second edition of Ear to the Ground with the Grindstone, where we'll cover assorted topics including new releases, upcoming concerts, and any other music news. I hope you enjoy. I've long been a big fan of Phoebe Bridgers. Her solo stuff is phenomenal, and her collaboration with Connor Oberst, Better Oblivion Community Center, was one of my favorite albums of 2019. Her other project, Boy Genius, with Lucy Dacus and Julian Baker, will be releasing their second album on March 31st. You can check out 3 songs from that album on Pitchfork. Give it a listen, particularly True Blue, which is a fantastic cut. Keeping with the Phoebe Bridgers theme, she'll be a guest on the new national album, First 2 Pages of Frankenstein, which is slated to come out April 28th. Also helping them out will be Taylor Swift and Sufjan Stevens. They'll be touring starting in May. Be on the lookout. Gaz Coombes, former frontman and guitarist for Supergrass, released Turn the Car Around this past week. I must admit, I didn't have that much exposure to Supergrass or his solo work, but came away really impressed. Check out Feel Loop, Lizard Dream, one of the many great tracks on the album. Moving back into the country realm, another act that I had not been familiar with was Brothers of the Heart, comprised of Jimmy Fortune, Bradley Walker, Mike Rogers, and Ben Isaacs. The group combines country, blues, and gospel influences on classic covers on their second album, Listen to the Music. The music reminds me of times in the yard with my parents listening to 98.7 WMZQ in the DC suburbs. 12-year-old me was not much of a fan and would have much rather listened to my first 3 records, Journey, Escape, Business as Usual, and Synchronicity. Meanwhile, slightly older me is talking about it on the World Wide Web. Times change. Closing track and Vince Gill cover Eliza Jane is a great wrap-up to a solid album. Austin-based Band of Heathens will be coming out with their 9th album this year. They preview 2 new burner tracks, Heartless Year and Stormy Weather, available on AmericanSongwriter.com. Dig into their catalog for some great tunes, particularly LA County Blues, to bide your time until the new one comes out. A couple albums that I missed until now are Dave Hawes' Blood Harmony and Carson McCone's Still Life. Special thanks to Craig Toney for turning me on to the former. It's produced by Will Hogue and features a host of all-star players on it, including E Street bassist Gary W. Talon and 400-unit guitarist Sadler Vaden, proving once again how vast and influential the Isbell 400-unit universe is. Sandy Sheets both references and sounds like it could be on the Gin Blossom's new Miserable Experience album. Handle A is another stellar track. Dave's new album, Drive It Like It's Stolen, is due out April 28th. Also, if you haven't heard, Will Hogue, do yourself a favor and check out his 2007 LP, Draw the Curtains, with Dirty Little War, a completely devastating track about divorce. As for Carson McCone, her album Still Life came out in early 22, is produced by her husband Daniel Romano. It starts off strong with Hawks Don't Share and keeps it rolling with the title track Still Life, among others. Give it a spin. That about wraps up this week, but I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about next week. January 27th features not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 releases by artists featured on the Grindstone. A reminder that Liv, who had a Grindstone top song of 22 with Lemon and was featured last week, releases a video for her new single, Titan. H.C. McIntyre will be releasing her new album, Every Acre. I featured H.C.'s former band, Mount Moriah, and their fantastic song, Eureka Springs, and Oldies But Goodies. Joe Henry, also featured in Oldies But Goodies, will be coming out with All the Eye Can See. Lastly, Pony Bradshaw, whose Foxfire Wine was a Grindstone top song of 2022 and whose song Van Gogh is featured behind footage from the Van Gogh Immersion Experience, comes out with the full-length album North Georgia Rounder. Next week can't come soon enough. That's it for today. Thanks for listening and hope you enjoy. As always, like this video, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe on YouTube. Tell your family, tell your friends, make 2 friends and tell them, make enemies and tell them as well.